All right, roof leak inspection. We're up on a 2-story steeper 12-12 pitch with the Cougar paws. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get on the backside because it does have a walkout basement rather far, but we lucked out because there's a lower slope transition here. So I can get up here. I was worried it was going to be a 12-12 pitch back here with the 2-story and a walkout basement, so very dangerous fall if you fall. But the leak, after looking inside, is in a bathroom about right here. Right outside the door is the leak. It's kind of dropped part of the ceiling. We have a pipe right here. So typically, you want to find the area. If you're a DIY or homeowner or whatever, find out where your leak is, look out an exterior window, whatever, find a point, reference it to upside on the top side of the roof. No obvious damage, no trees hit it, nothing of that nature. It's probably going to be something with the quality of install, a component, something like that. So penetrations are usually your issues. They're going to leak first. So we're going to look at 2 right here and kind of learn from it. Not the best pipe boot choice. I think this is actually probably from an old roof layer, and then they put this new duration roof on and probably salvaged this. So we're looking at quality of install. Is it tucked under far enough? Is it installed correctly? Nail placement, things like that. The buckle right here, I'm not sure. We're going to kind of look into that too. See why this is humping up. It's either, I mean, that's very soft. I don't think it's this. I think it's a sheet of wood possibly. So things on that. Typically 4 foot, 8 foot, 12 foot, so on. Every 4 foot increments, if the sheets are run horizontally, that could be a buckling sheet. Water could be getting into it, then causing it to buckle. I was able to peel this loose to see what we got going on, because if you have a buckle right here with a keyway where 2 come together like this, 2 shingles, water can seep in this and run laterally because it's hitting a bump. It could run laterally, come off in the crack above up here. So I want to pop that loose and see. And it's far enough over, and the dirty water trail stays right here for the most part. Kind of comes over sideways, but I don't think that's the issue. Some other things you want to look for, if they're tucked under far enough, the nail placement. Typically, like my rule of thumb is the shingle that goes under your flashing flange has to cross the backside of the pipe. Should come up at least this high or higher before you put the shingles over the pipe boot. Reason is this shingle probably only goes up 1.25 inches past this right here. So in that area, water hitting this and diverting could easily make it off that little bitty flange they've got, getting it onto your roof deck and in. That could be the issue. That's also possibly what might be causing the decking to get moisture and buckle. There's something else I think going on with this. So also, older homes, you're going to see cast iron, copper, whatever. They're very rigid. PVC and newer homes, they typically go down large like this. So if they frost due to the moist air coming out in the winter, there's still room. It won't restrict shut, right? Goes into the attic area, and then it will taper into a smaller pipe and go into a wall. Not always on newer homes. They can go down, tee off somewhere, and connect other pipes, other rooms for air to flow through. By the way, these are basically to vent your sewer or septic, whatever it is. Not just to vent it, but when you flush a large water volume, it can suck air into here following that large volume of water dumping and not suck a P-trap. That's what these are here. We call them soil vent pipes, whatever. There's other nicknames for them, but they're kind of dirty, so I'm not going to say. With that being said, I've seen over the years where people slide a new boot down over it, or they're just being rough with it. This should not be that loose. Sometimes you can try to twist and verify if it's broke or disconnected, but this is like shaking way too much, way too easy. If you look at this, it's got like a weird flop. I'm wondering if something's broken inside here. So that is definitely concerning. Any water that hits this could be going into a broken pipe, bad connection, cracked pipe, whatever, breaking. If you're in a cold climate also and you're going to do something like that, you also need to make sure they slope down. Any water, rain, condensation needs to flow into your sewer system and not into a negative pocket or a low slope area, because it will fill up in the cold winter. It will freeze, breaking your pipes. I've seen that happen a lot of times. So a combination of not really installed good, looks like it's an old boot, and the fact that I think something in here is broken. So need to get into the attic and verify this. I also want to point out something right here that I had noticed. They never adjusted this and slid it down. It's not the tightest fit. So if a large volume of rain is hitting this from wind-driven rain, it can run down the pipe right through that because it's loose fitting. You can see your light right through the bottom side. Hold this up. If there's areas where water could run down the pipe, bypassing this, it could also seep in here somewhere. That's actually a pretty tight fit, so I don't see that being the issue, but nevertheless, that should be sealed, slid down, and some silicone or sealer GEOCEL around this right here. I'm gonna walk over, check this boot real quick. This one's done different than the other one. They kind of just shoved a wedge under and then try to hide it. Still same old dirty looking, but the pipe is way more firm. It almost feels like the top is wobbling, but the base inside is secure. So that feels connected. There's a definite difference in the feel of this versus this one here. You can see it's kind of wobbling and pivoting at this. Down below, it should stay for the most part in the same area and then pivot like that. This here is almost pivoting where the boot is straddling it, so the base is kicking the opposite direction of my hand. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of hard just to see a video what I'm talking about, but I think that's the issue right there, and it's not installed the best. So if you have attic access inside, it could simply be a plumbing issue. If not, remove the shingles in the area, take the boot off, cut a piece of decking out. You're gonna have to dress it right here anyways. That would be a good time if there is no attic area to visually inspect the pipe, glue new if you need to, put a new plug patch in, put new shingles in, new pipe boot in. Should take care of it. It's starting to get hot out today. This is it. I got to get down off here. Got to make my next stop. If you learned anything beneficial, give it a quick thumbs up. Until next time, be safe. We'll see you then.